Merry Chrysler everyone, if you haven't received a Christmas card yet, here's this one for you. Now, Christmas cards technically have a few purposes. They're meant to be thoughtful, sentimental, maybe a bit heartfelt. But let's be honest, we all opened them with the exact same secret hope that we're about to be flashbanged by a crisp $20 by a mysteriously wealthy aunt. And when that doesn't happen, you're usually greeted by the same familiar imagery. Christmas trees, snowmen, gingerbread men, snowflakes, ornaments, Santa, and maybe a reindeer or two. And possibly several elves who, based on Santa's labour practices, are definitely not unionised. Most grocery store cards are very safe, very polite. They'd say Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays inside already, just in case you don't feel like writing anything beyond your name and apology for being late. And honestly, there's nothing wrong with that. Some modern cards are genuinely beautiful. I actually got one for my aunt recently, really gorgeous design, very tasteful, and I loved it so much that I keep it on my desk where I can see it. But one night while I was doom scrolling Instagram Reels, and wondering what I could possibly post for Christmas, because realistically, everyone's going to be like, oh my goodness, they posted. I'm so sorry. I came across something incredible. An account called Good Shirts, I believe, posted a collection of Victorian Christmas cards, and I can only describe them as bizarre, unsettling, and absolutely fantastic. I'm talking lobsters. Amazing lobsters. Sentient potatoes, and children getting terrorized by food. Things that technically count as Christmas cards, but feel more like a threat. And I need to know, why were Victorian Christmas cards like this? The first reaction you have when you see these cards is confusion, honestly and respectfully, because a lot of the imagery doesn't scream Christmas at all. Like, is that a potato? Is that a clown? Why does this look like a cursed episode of South Park that aired in 1896? But here's the thing, these cards aren't inherently bad, a lot of them are actually beautifully illustrated, detailed, coloured, clearly made by skilled artists. The weirdness isn't coming from incompetence, it's coming from choice. Scrolling through the comments on that Instagram post was honestly half the fun. People were throwing out theories left and right, so take everything with a grain of salt, including what I'm about to say, because I did in fact research this while drinking some hot chocolate, ironically. One comment said, and I quote, "I saw a video recently that explained why they had so many lobster cards. Basically, the Christmas lobster is the equivalent of our Christmas sloth or llama. Victorians just thought it was neat." And the comment right below that honestly said what I was thinking at the time, because I do not recall ever seeing a Christmas sloth or llama in my entire life. But honestly, it checks out, because when you actually look into it, lobsters were used mostly because they were funny, but also because that they symbolised wealth and indulgence. Lobsters weren't exactly everyday food. On top of that, lobsters moved sideways and backwards, which gave them this chaotic, unpredictable energy. Less religious symbolism, more absurd humour, which isn't that different from modern-day Christmas animals. As for the Christmas sloth and llama, apparently it's a part of internet culture, holiday mood, and simple relatable humour. To put it short, sloths were basically a symbol of surviving the end of your exhaustion, symbolising that people can now finally rest after a busy year. As for the Christmas llama, it was primarily seen as a trend animal with its exotic and cute factors that also held global influence and visual novelty. The global influence is quite interesting, as it was theorized that because llamas originate from South America, it reflects how Christmas imagery has become international rather than biblical or European. They certainly just say that Christmas is now fun and modern and a little bit random. Another comment put it even more simply. Victorian Christmas cards were strange because of their sense of humour. They wanted to bring laughs into cold, dark seasons. Literally just for Christmas cheer. Smiley face. And honestly, that's probably the most accurate explanation. It's kind of sweet to think that someone in the middle of a freezing Victorian winter looked at an angry walnut with legs and thought, yes, this will heal the people. This is what we need during these dark times. After going down a completely normal research spiral, also known as searching YouTube at 2 AM, I found a really good video explaining the origins of Christmas cards, which I genuinely recommend if you're into this stuff. It's a really nice video to watch with just a hot chocolate, and just if you just want to chill out and learn something new. I personally love these kind of educational videos. It explains that a lot of what we associate with Christmas today was shaped during the Victorian era. including Christmas cards themselves. The very commercial Christmas card was sent in 1843 by Sir Henry Cole. It showed a family celebrating together, enjoying food and each other's company. Very wholesome. Very togetherness, generosity, and celebration, not just a religious holiday, but a social one. And while some Victorian cards were normal and sentimental, this era was also a testing ground. Artists were experimenting, like we always do. Christmas wasn't fully standardized yet, and neither was Father Christmas. Remember, this was still the early developments of this holiday. Santa wasn't always red. Earlier versions of him had brown, blue, green. Coca-Cola definitely helped lock in that red suit later on, but before mass consumerism took over, artists had way more freedom. And because companies, printers, and the postal system were expanding rapidly, there was suddenly a market for variety. Weird cards stood out, weird cards sold, weird cards got saved. People literally preserved these cards in scrapbooks and albums, which tells us something important. They loved them. And honestly, same. I too would also preserve an image of a lobster terrorizing children. That's batshit. That's batshit hilarious. A lot of the uncanny feeling comes from food personification, realistic faces slapped onto objects that absolutely did not need them, which is probably why these cards have developed such a cursed reputation over time. So what happened? Why did we lose sentient potatoes? I mean, we have whatever this is, but I don't really like that. A big reason is the decline of hand-drawn art and mass production. These cards were time-consuming, detailed, and expensive. As printing became more industrialized, companies shifted towards designs that were faster and cheaper to reproduce. Convenience won. By the late 19th and early 20th century, Christmas imagery became more standardized. Santa, trees, snow, cozy vibes, fucking... Just like any meme or trend, the weirdness eventually faded. Even the lobster couldn't survive the capitalism. I think it turned dark though. Modern Christmas cards are safe, polished, predictable. They're designed to offend absolutely no one, which is understandable, but it also means they rarely surprise you. Most of the creativity has shifted into typography, minimalism, and ironic humor, which isn't bad, it's just different. We traded chaos for comfort, but I think that's one of the main reasons why I liked Victorian cards so much. Not only were they almost provocative, they were challenging and urged people to think and wonder and ponder. They were fun and exciting and definitely not something you'd expect to see in the mail. I know that if I was living in the Victorian times, which according to my race I probably would have been in a rice field realistically, but imagining if I were a little white girl receiving mail, after I've gone through all my sexist mail and people reminded me that I'm not allowed to vote, I will happily be greeted by a clown supposedly harassing a random man, in which I will let out a hearty "Good show!" But here's the thing, I think we're slowly circling back. Indie artists, small businesses, and online creators are clearly reviving this energy, absurd humour, and settling illustrations. Cards that feel personal, weird, and specific. Honestly, the best way to reincorporate Victorian-style Christian cards... Christmas cards, I'm so sorry, it is incredibly late for me, is to stop taking them so seriously. Let them be strange, let them be funny, let them confuse people a little, because confusion is memorable. Freelancing has become more and more popular, mostly due to the terrible work market, but I find it funny to assume and believe that maybe, just maybe, weird cards like these would become popular again in the future, even if it gives me the smallest chance of seeing my beloved lobster once more. Victorian Christmas cards weren't strange by accident. They were strange because people were experimenting, joking, and trying to make each other laugh during dark and cold winters. And maybe that's something worth bringing back. So this year, if you receive a card with a lobster or a walnut or a haunted piece of product upon it, just know you're participating in a long, proud tradition. Merry Chrysler. I just wanted to talk about Victorian cards for a while. Anyways, enjoy some music while you scroll for your next video. Alright, now get out of here, you little scamp!